Good evening, everyone. Welcome. First of 3 quick live prediction videos. The weekly segments here. Jay's Fight Talk's back on the road. Good to see that. Parity's been restored. We've got Liam Tully in the house as well down bottom. Boys, big weekend of fights coming up. We're starting with the Magnificent 7 main event. Brad Paul's Denzel Bentley. European, British, and WBO International middleweight championships on the line. Winners probably going to be mandatory at some point for the WBO belt. I think, Liam, it's number 1 versus number 2 in the WBO from what you said last night. So, cracking fight on paper, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, mate. Yeah, like you say, number 1 versus number 2. So you got Bentley, even though he's not coming into this fight with the British title, is number 1. Paul's is number 2, which is a fantastic position for him to be in as a fighter whose goal in boxing was to win a Lonsdale belt and now potentially be one more victory away from a world title shot. That's beyond his wildest dreams. So it's another great fight. It's another feel-good British boxing story, isn't it? We love these fighters whose dream is to win a British title. Then they win it and all these other doors open up. And it's now about Brad Paul's going to grab it by the neck and seize the opportunity on Saturday night, or is he just not quite there? Because we're not talking about another British level fighter in Denzel Bentley. Denzel Bentley's competed at a higher level. And if he's still got that in him, he should show it on Saturday night. But equally, we still don't quite know where Brad Paul's ceiling is, do we? Yeah. He could have more in himself than he's shown against Nathan Heaney in the last 2 fights. So it's fantastic. It's another piece of great matchmaking by Queensbury and finishes off a solid domestic year for them.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think the narrative I've sort of played within my own head is that it's nice to see 2 guys that have come through the old grassroots way, small hall shows, and now main eventing together. Yeah. You know, 2 guys that have got a decent fan base but are always an opponent. It's very rare that either of these get. I know Bentley's had a couple of sort of main events, but he's always been main eventing with another Heaney or whoever. It's always been sort of somebody else's main event, and these guys have always not been the nearly men or Cinderella men, but they've all, you know, they're known on the circuit. And it's a big opportunity for Pauls to announce himself as one of the main guys in the division. But it's also an opportunity for Bentley to solidify himself as probably one of the best that we have on these shores at that weight. And as Liam said, stake his claim even further for a world title shot, because let's be honest, he's never been soundly beaten, has he, Denzel Bentley? He's always been beaten. And we spoke about it before. I think he's got levels to give and levels to show us. I don't believe that we've seen the best of Denzel Bentley. I don't believe the world title fight really came at the right came at the right time for him. And I believe if he gets another crack, we'll see a different oh God, my allergies are killing me. We'll see another side of Denzel Bentley, and I believe that he'll take the opportunity. That's like saying he didn't take his opportunity. I'm going to go again.
You're on about the Janabek fight, aren't you?
I don't believe he came at the right time for him.
Yeah, he got offered it off the back of Janabek being granted a voluntary defence, and he decided to go down. Bentley was 14 or 15 at the time. He'd only just become ranked by the WBO, so it was an opportunity too soon, and he acquitted himself really well out in Vegas, didn't he? I think it was 116, 112.
Yeah, it was an 8-4 kind of. Yeah, it was close enough. Yeah, I mean Bentley. Last time out against Derek Azazi, as discussed, and then Brad Paul stopping Nathan Heaney, taking his O in the last round. Both of them come in with a bit of form. I think the more momentum's with Brad Paul's in this one, but Denzel Bentley is fought and probably.
I think I've just broke a world record there, boys.
Oh, I love it.
I'm sorry.
Denzel Bentley's ceiling is probably higher than Brad Paul's, from what we've seen currently, but that's not to say that Paul's ceiling isn't going to increase. So I think it's good matchmaking by Frank and Queensbury. I guess I'll come to both of you now then for your official predictions for the fight.
Liam first. We've got
Liam. Look, for me, it's a fact of what I've seen from Denzel Bentley is of a higher level, is of a better quality than what I've seen from Brad Paul's. So going off of the eye test I've seen from both men, I believe Denzel Bentley will dominate the fight and possibly push for a stoppage victory late on. But it wouldn't at all surprise me if Brad Paul shows us that he's got those levels and claims a victory himself. But going off of what I know and the fact I'm a big Denzel Bentley fan, I'm going for a Denzel Bentley stoppage around round number 10.
Yeah, and king of contradictions here, if I can hold my shit together and not sneeze. But I'm going to use another. I'll use another fight as an example. Now, I've picked Denzel Bentley from the second the fight was made. I believe that he's just, I'm not going to say levels above, but at least a level above where Brad Paul's is at this time. I'm not saying that if they box 10 times out of 10, Denzel wins 10 times out of 10. But I believe 2024 December, the Magnificent Seven card, as we are now, Denzel Bentley's the better man, and I believe that will shine through towards the end. Hello there.
The mascot.
But I'm going to use two fighters that I believe are at similar stages in the career. Ted Cheeseman defended his British belt, 154, different weight division, but he was meant to be going on to bigger and better things, and he had an easy defence against Troy Williamson, who was pretty much untested. I know he was unbeaten at the time. He'd had a draw, but he'd never boxed at a level. Yeah, he was a decent amateur. He'd won the ABAs and he's boxed internationally and in the WSB. But professionally, he'd never boxed anywhere near Ted Cheeseman's level. One of the fights of that year, one of the most brutal knockouts I've seen, very similar to when
crazy knockout.
A little-known fat man called Carl Froch once boxed in front of a couple of hundred people at a venue in London once.
Yeah.
Folded over a kid called George Groves, very similar. But what I'm saying is there's always that chance. And even though I'm saying Denzel Bentley, I believe is a level above, if he doesn't come in right, and he believes that, Brad Paul's hits hard enough, potentially, to cause an upset. So there could be an upset. I'm not going for that. I think Denzel Bentley stops him between rounds 8 and 10, very similar to Liam. But I think for the first 4 or 5 rounds, it's going to be sort of nip and tuck.
Yeah. We got Jubas Mercer's in the house. Thanks very much for tuning in. He's with Liam and Jay on the Bentley pick. I'm going to go the other way. It's you may as well call me Jay's Fight Talk Junior.
Hey, let's swap us round, man.
Yeah, Jay's Fight Talk Junior over here. Yeah, I'm
here we go. Look, Bentley's going to twist his ankle, bash his head.
yeah. I'm going for the draw. No. I think Brad Paul's is going to win. I haven't got any big technical breakdown on why I think he does. I just think he's riding a crest of a wave at the minute. I think his momentum is everything.
I mean, it's a justified pick. I mean, if we're going on recency bias, I believe that Paul's has had the better performance. I know Bentley took Asazi out clinically, but I think that Nathan Heaney's better than Asazi.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And the fact that Paul's did it so late against someone who'd never been stopped. And was
power translates late in a fight.
And does Bentley's? I believe it does, but I don't think he hits as concussively hard one punch as what Paul's does. I believe Paul's slightly bigger and slightly thicker set, and his punch is slightly harder, but I just believe Bentley's better. But I get where you're coming from. Yeah, definitely.
Look, it's a cracking fight.
Was that another one for Denzel Bentley, that back then, yeah?
Yeah, I think it was. I don't know what she wants. She's been asleep. As soon as I come live, she decides to wake up and get involved.
Oh, dear. Right, yeah, we'll leave it there. Then we've got 2 for Bentley, 1 for Paul's. Let us know in the comments, obviously. Well, 3 for Bentley, actually. Yeah, 3 for Bentley. Let us know in the comments what you think. It's a great fight, headlining Magnificent 7 this Saturday night in London. We will be there for the live watch-along. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next time.